salad might not be as good for you as you think it is. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. So I just got back from the gym, and somebody had asked me before I went to the gym why they weren't seeing results. So of course I asked him what his split was and how much he weighed then and how much he weighed now and all those other questions. And then for the last question, I asked him what his diet was like. And this is when it all made sense. His diet was complete dog water, trash, horrible, worst one I've ever seen. Okay, not worst one I've ever seen. You get the point though. He said that his diet was the same as before and that he had never really changed anything. He just began exercising more. So I shook my head, and for my last ray of hope, I asked him if he was at least in a calorie deficit, and he looked at me confused. I then gave him the basics of all things diet and nutrition, which is what this video is about. There's so many people out there that want to lose or gain weight or just stay where they are in weight-wise that don't know the importance of having a good diet. So in this video, we're going to go over a couple of important things that you should know when dieting. Now, before this video goes on any further, I do have to say that I am not a nutritionalist. I have not gone to school for nutrition or none of that. I'm just going off of my personal experiences, gaining weight, losing weight, sustaining my own weight, and stuff like that. And now, since you can't sue me, let's get started. The first thing that you need to know when you're going into a diet is what type of diet you need. Now, I'm not talking about like a keto diet or a vegan diet or any of those. I'm specifically talking about if you need to be in a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit. Now, first we're going to start with calorie surplus. A calorie surplus, all that means is that you're eating more food than your body is burning. So this is going to be for people that are trying to gain weight. If you want to gain weight, you must be in a calorie surplus. Always. Hands down. 1000% always have to be in a calorie surplus. But to be in a calorie surplus, one thing that you have to know is how many calories you need a day, so you can know to eat more than that set amount of calories. Now, this is pretty easy to figure out. All you have to do, you go to Google, type in like a calorie calculator, like this simple one right here. You're gonna put your height, your weight, and your age and how active you are, and it's gonna give you, like right here, it gives me how to gain weight, maintain my weight, and lose weight right here. And no, I've never been big on specifically counting every single one of my calories or going as far as like weighing my food out on a scale or anything like that. But it is important to know a rough amount of calories that you're intaking in every meal. Now, when it comes to being in a calorie surplus, there's two ways that you can do this. You can do this the easy way, literally just eating kind of whatever you wanted, because you know you're gonna gain weight at the end of the day. Or you could do it the smart way. This way is with you eating like high calorie meals, like a lot of meats, a lot of protein, stuff like that, and naturally just getting a lot of calories in instead of just going out and buying a whole bunch of cheeseburgers and fries. When doing it the smart way, you'll actually find that you have a lot more energy than if you were to just go out and eat a whole bunch of chicken nuggets and fries. Now, when I was trying to gain weight, one thing that I did a lot. I intook a lot of protein, like a lot of protein. I was eating noodles, fish, specifically baked salmon, and baked chicken. And that was in every meal, and there was probably some rice and broccoli in there too. And over about 3 months' time, I gained about 15 to 20 pounds, and I went from 160 to 180. Granted, there probably was a pretty good amount of unhealthy things that I ate, but the basics were a lot of protein, rice, vegetables, clean stuff. When I was on that diet, I definitely had a lot more energy. I've never actually really tried like just eating whatever you want type of diet, so I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I know that I definitely did have a lot of energy, and I was able to go to school, go play basketball. I was actually working out. I was working out 2 to 3 times a day. When I was doing that diet, I would go play basketball, then I would go to the gym, and then like later on in the day, I would probably like go hoop again or something like that. So I definitely had a lot of energy. So one perk of doing a clean diet is that you'll definitely have a lot of energy. Now, going on to the other type of diet, we have calorie deficit. Now, when you're in a calorie deficit, this is going to be from people who want to lose weight. I will say being in a calorie deficit is significantly harder than being in a calorie surplus. People like to say that being in a calorie deficit is like mentally harder and being in a calorie surplus is physically harder, because sometimes when you're in a calorie surplus, you kind of have to force feed yourself, but when you're in a calorie deficit, it's just having the self-discipline to put the fork down, basically. Because when you're in a calorie deficit, you want to be eating less than your body is burning, meaning that you also need to know which foods to eat. Right now, I'm actually currently in a calorie deficit right now. My daily calories that I need is about 3,000, so I'm actually about roughly 2,500 calories a day. That's about how much I eat. And I've gotten used to it. I've been in this calorie deficit for about a month now. At first it was kind of difficult, but now I'm kind of getting used to it. One thing that does help with being in a calorie deficit though, like with the foods that you should eat, is fruits, specifically berries. I recently bought me a blender, and that's literally the main thing that I use. I come home from work, I put me a banana in there, blueberries, raspberries, and like some strawberries, and I'll be good until like the afternoon. Of course, I'll put my protein and creatine in there as well. Now, when it comes to being in a calorie deficit, I would definitely recommend you get a calorie calculator, or at least know roughly how many calories you're eating in your meals. Being in a calorie deficit has also helped me realize that some foods that people think are good for you for a calorie deficit aren't really good for you. And you're gonna be surprised, but salad. Now you may be thinking, Brad, I thought salad was good for you, and the salad itself is, but the croutons and the bread, and especially the dressing that everyone adds to the salad, is packed with calories. One thing that people need to pay attention to is the serving sizes of things, because I have some ranch dressing right here, and it says 130 calories, which isn't a lot. But when you read the serving size, it says per 2 tablespoons. Now, for those of you who don't know how much or how big a tablespoon is, this is one right here. And this one is shaped kind of weird, so it kind of probably looks a little bit bigger than it actually is. But hold on. This right here is 2 tablespoons full of water. This is exactly 1 medicine cup of water. And that's 2 tablespoons. So no one is using this much amount of dressing for their salad. And of course, companies know this, which is why they can get away with saying, oh, there's only 130 calories, because they know you're gonna use more than the serving size. So while the salad itself, and I'm just making up numbers here, while the salad itself might be 100 calories, you're gonna maybe triple, double, quadruple the amount of calories that's in the salad with just the dressing. And don't get me started on the croutons and the bread and all the other stuff that people add to salads these days. Now, this might sound a little hypocritical, but I actually don't even eat salad. I tried salad once when I was a kid, and I didn't like it, and I've never tried it since. It's been probably 13 plus years since I actually tried a salad. Haven't tried it, didn't want it, so yeah. But a lot of people that are in a calorie deficit eat salad. Now, this being said, I'm not telling you to throw salad out of your diet completely, but what I am saying is maybe instead of drowning your salad in ranch dressing, get the dressing on the side and casually or periodically drizzle some on and then eat it, and then drizzle some more on. Because when you put a whole bunch of ranch dressing in and then shake up your salad and then put some more in and shake it up, you're adding at least 500 calories every time you do that, and that's more than the salad itself. The last thing that I want to talk about is the type of exercises you should be doing. Now, I'm not really going to go into depth about this because there's a lot of different levels to it, but for the most part, when you're trying to gain weight, what you need to be doing is some sort of weights-based training or muscle building training, because muscle weighs more than fat, and I am the perfect example of this. I'm only 5'8", but I weigh 180 pounds. And I'm sure you all can think of one of your skinny friends that's 6 foot but only weighs 140 pounds. Meaning that when trying to gain weight, gaining muscle is also the best way to do it. But for being in a calorie deficit, what you're gonna wanna do is cardio, which is basically just run. Go outside, run. Basically, just run. That's it, just run. Now, of course, there are more things that you can do for cardio besides running, but that's really the main one. For cardio or for being in a calorie deficit, cardio is basically key because you're moving around a lot, you're burning a lot of calories at once, and you can keep those calories off if you're in your calorie deficit and know what you eat. Now, before I end the video, I do want to say again that I'm not a nutritionalist. I didn't go to school for any of this. I'm actually going to school for kinesiology, which is the study of the human body. So it kind of does overlay a little bit, but I'm not a said nutritionalist, but I can speak on my past experiences with gaining and losing weight. But then again, this is just the bare minimum information that everyone should know about dieting. So with that being said, I hope this video was helpful for you. Leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys.